friends would walk up to me and just be like,
What is up, guys? What is up? I am super excited about today's stream. Before we get started, you know what to do. Go hit that like button, go subscribe, turn on that bell notification because we are going live. And today's stream is all about FC Cincinnati. Oh, I am excited for this one. FC Cincy, such a great team. Obviously, their first season was last season. I'm just so excited to see what this team can achieve this year. Um, you know what? Screw it. You know what? Let's get right into it. You know what I mean? That's what we want to do. We want to get right into it, So we're gonna do that right away. We're not gonna waste any time. Um, by the way, you know, subscribe, help support the channel. If you love some of the content, let me know in the comments below and what you like about it, what you don't like about it, what you'd like me to talk about. We are all about the fans. Um, and so with that being said, let's get right into it. I am super excited about this one. Guys, I don't know if you heard, they have just signed Luciano Acosta, former DC United player. I don't know if you guys remember that. I believe it was him, where Rooney, he ran back, slide tackled the player, played that crossfield pass, and I believe this is the bad man himself, Luciano Costa, who scored that absolute banger of a goal. We're going to be diving in a few topics today. We're going to be covering everything FC Cincinnati, from the ticket prices, to the roster, to the coach, to the signings that they've had in the off season, and what we can really expect realistically from FC Cincinnati this season. So you know what? We're really excited. Let's dive right into it. First of all, we're going to cover the ticket prices. Let's just look at like ticket prices at the moment, what they're costing. Um, do I think it's really expensive? Let's find out. So season tickets, let's go there. Um, looks like you can't even select anything. Oh, never mind. You know what? Considering how many home games are there? Um, considering that you know that there are a few home games in the season, I don't think that 900 uh dollar value is all that horrible. Especially like looking at it, you have midfield seats. That is awesome. I mean, they go as low as $325. I mean, that's where I'd want to sit, like right behind the goal. The supporter section is around there. Um, and I think that is awesome. So about for 17 games, let's do the math of this. So 900 divided by $53. Yeah, so you have about 17 games, home games in an MLS season, and I expect, I think for a brand new stadium, what they've just built and everything like that, I think it's going to be fantastic. Um, yeah, I think getting a season ticket for this amount, I'd hope to see the stadium fully packed out, fully packed as well. Just looking at all of these prices, it's not horrible. Like $19 a game, it's not bad. It's not bad. You guaranteed your seats. You're gonna make some friends and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's really really cool. Let's look at the parking. How are they doing the parking this year with uh with their new stadium being introduced and whatnot? I think that's gonna be very interesting to see. Let's take a listen. I love this. Look at this man here just staring like, what the heck are you guys doing? Like, that is so weird. And then like look at this man right here too. He's like, but they're actually doing a live recording, so that's crazy. That's funny. That's super cool, I think. Look at like all those parking spots, obviously paid for, um, and the proximity to like the stadium that is literally walking distance, um, allows you to have a good time at the games. Allows you to have a great time at the games without worrying about having to do half a marathon to get to your car or anything like that. I think that's super cool. All in all, I think that is really, really cool. I think what they're doing is super, super cool. Um, like I think what they're doing as a whole, as an organization, is really, really cool. What do I expect from their schedule? Their first few games, as you can see, away, home. I think that one's going to be such a cool game to see. The Inter Miami CF. Um, and see which of the new franchises are better. It's going to be interesting to see. I think they've only announced like the first few games, and they'll go from there. So it's going to be awesome. I'd definitely mark that in your calendars, May 16th. That's definitely a game that I'd want to be at 100%. How do I see him against Nashville? I honestly could see him if they get things going, if they're firing on all cylinders. I could see him honestly getting this win, and then I think New York City is going to be a really, really hard game away from home. I don't think they'll have fans with it being New York, um, and so yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye out for that roster as well. How do I see these guys faring in their conference? You know, this is such a challenging conference. I mean, I was listening to Thierry Henry, former Montreal's coach, and he was just talking about like the complexities. So I think Toronto's gonna have it hard. Like I think with them playing outside of Canada and like I don't know. I haven't heard much from it, but with them being outside of Canada, I think that's gonna be really, really interesting to see kind of where they're at in terms of preparations and whatnot. I think um, I definitely think Atlanta's got to definitely grab one of the playoff spots. My money personally is on Inter Miami, Columbus Crew, so that's already three. I would think NYCF uh, is going to be there. New York Red Bulls probably. Orlando, New England, I expect to do well. Philly, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, it's tough in all conferences this year. So I don't have any predictions. It's actually getting more and more competitive. So I think that's going to be fantastic. Um, let's go to their players. Uh, I I'm really excited. Oh, let's go to their staff. Let's go to the staff. So I think their technical staff is very, very experienced. Personally, he just looks like such a bad man. Like he's not messing around or any of this stuff. So again, I think right off the bat, you kind of see what these guys are going for. Um, I think you kind of know what you're gonna get out of these guys, and um, I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how these guys do this year. Obviously, they've obviously worked very hard to get to this point as an organization. I mean, Gerard Kemp, I don't ever know if I'm pronouncing that right. You know, I think he's fantastic. Worked in the Netherlands, was a player and a manager as well. Um, at PEC Swole, and and it worked until 2019 when obviously he took over this role. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to see kind of what happens, Um, and he's a club's president, he's a GM, um, and so. I mean, sorry, he's not the club president. That's Jeff Birding, but I think Nick Camp um, will definitely bring something interesting to this, and I think it's something where someone who's been experienced, I think he's been in the business for about at least 30 years, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it 30 years? No, sorry. So he started working, so he's been in the business for about 20, 23, 24 years. Um, as well. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see kind of what happens with him as well. And then the man himself, Yep Stam, right? Like I think I'm super excited to see who and what he does in this organization this season as well. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to see kind of what he does. Let's drop this right here. So who is Yep Stam? So I think he's the club's fourth full-time coach. Um, he led the team obviously in 2020. I don't think he did too well over there. Obviously, he knows the general manager, GM, and he's been, instrumental in Frankie De Jong, Donny van der Beek for Man United, Andre Onana, who's still there, obviously got banned. Uh, and he guided Ajax to the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. That's when they lost to Tottenham, I believe, in like extra time, if I'm not mistaken, or something of that sort. He was been at Reading, so like something that I like about him is players are gonna come here, they're gonna know that uh, they're gonna know what they're gonna get out of him. They're gonna get an experienced manager, an experienced coach who really is going to drill these guys, and he's going to have a certain identity of playing. And that FC Cincinnati going to be high press, high intensity kind of thing as well. And so I think it's going to be really fun to just see kind of everything go around in full circle. Um, yeah, so obviously, like I said, he's reunited with Nick Camp, and I think what's interesting about it is they'll be they'll be very familiar um with him. Obviously, he's got a big name, right? Like people know who they're dealing with too. Like when they see Yep Stam as well as their coach. Um, like like I again touched on, he even they say right here he embraces the Dutch way of playing. Um, now the club's second Dutch head coach. So it looks like they've kind of made it an emphasis to go out there and get Dutch head coaches, but they'll obviously have that identity of playing a certain way, high intensity, kind of. I'll liken it to the way Ajax play right now. Obviously rooted in that identity, right? Like they've got that whole identity, that whole look. Um, so let's see if we get yeah. So here, they've only got two assistant coaches, which I think is really interesting. Usually teams might have three. Um, Not really going to look at the academy for now. We can do that another time if you guys would like. Um, let's take a look at this. Like this is something that's really interested me, and something that's been pretty cool actually. Let's take a listen here. Um, I think this is a video that you guys will really enjoy.
Cincinnati continues preparations for its move to Major League Soccer.
The team will turn dirt today on a new training facility in Milford.
Welcome everyone.
Now it is just an empty field in preparation for that big changeover.
We're excited to start construction on the building, and the groundbreaking is a really exciting step.
Today we come together for another important step in FC Cincinnati's growth, preparing one of the final beams for our building structure.
We going hard soon as they turn on the lights. I hope you ready, cause we came to fight. Win every day, we gotta win every night. I hope you ready, cause we came to fight.
Guys, just pausing it, just looking a little bit at some of their facilities. Like, wow, it's really amazing. State of the art kind of facilities. they're a good soccer city. They're a really good soccer city, a strong supporters base. So I wouldn't expect anything less from FC Cincinnati. Honestly, I really wouldn't. They're gonna do bits. Let's continue watching.
We going hard soon as they turn on the lights. I hope you ready, cause we came to fight. Win every day, we gotta win every night. I hope you ready, cause we came to fight. We going hard soon as they turn on the lights. I hope you ready, cause we came to fight. Win every day, we gotta win every night.
I mean, literally, just look at this. Here, I'm gonna rewind till here. Like, that is literally state of the art. I mean, they've got a dining room in here. They've got like a weight room. They've got a physical therapy room. They've got video analysis rooms. They've got locker rooms in here. I believe more than one. They've got it all. They've really got it all in here. Wow. Super cool. Super cool, honestly. All right, let's go into here. So I think something that's interesting, right, is their adaptation into what they want to do. You know, maybe before we touch on this, no, I think let's stay with this. So I think right off the bat, I think this is something um that I find really interesting, this whole paragraph right here. So FC Cincinnati deployed 3 players, 20 years old or younger, Frankie Amaya, which obviously going back a couple of videos, you can find it there, is in one of the top 10 players, Zico Bailey and Alvaro Barreal for the first time in team history. On the bench, 17-year-old Beckham Sunderland, the club's first MLS homegrown player, was a substitution away from debuting as a goalkeeper. And even looking further than this, right? Like, you just see that they always want to have young players in and around the first team. Does that personally? I don't think that they're gonna have too many, as many as like they're promoting. Obviously, like Frankie Amaya is the exception to it. I mean, he's only 20, right? But he's already had 40 MLS appearances, which is crazy for the MLS. Usually you see players doing that at like 23, 24 kind of thing, you know, go to college, spend their junior or senior year getting drafted, and then that's when they get into these kind of atmospheres. So I think something that's really interesting too, like even going deeper into all of this now, is they are really focused on such like building that core, and I think you can see that with like the sporting director, and you can kind of see that in terms of like how they're going to build out and play out of the back and things like that. I think they'll have, look at this, like throughout 2020, Stump said he'll use players who deserve minutes, reiterating the mantra of if you're good enough, you're old enough to play it. And I really think they're going to keep that like throughout their times and everything like that. I'm excited to see this. Let's see. Do we want to watch a video? I believe this should be a video, right? Yeah. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
As you're standing here, the butcher shop's 126 years old. Says a lot about Cincinnati, something's able to last that long.
I think you can be whatever you want to be here in Cincinnati. If you can do what you want to do, the opportunity's here.
I love the diversity of Cincinnati. There's a great sense of community here. Good or bad, you know, people are together. I think that's what makes this place unique.
Cincinnati is all about the people. Cincinnati is home to me. Always has been, always will be.
So I just think that we're a middle-class, hard-working city that just likes to get it done.
Yo, so I think that's super, super cool. I think what they're doing over there in terms of their state, I mean their kits and everything like that, like it all has meaning, right? Like what they're doing is such great advertising. And honestly, I haven't seen it from a whole lot of teams. But they're really doing well in terms of their jerseys and everything. Like their jerseys, let's take a look right here. They have a 20% off if any of you guys are watching this right now. Their dynamic kit, yeah, I don't even know how much it's selling for right now. Let's take a look. But like I think they're doing everything with a purpose, and it's really cool to see. They're being thoughtful and very intentional about like every single thing that they do right now. 134, I'm guessing with no name, and then 159 with Brenda's name, and 159 again with any name. I'm assuming it's probably the same for the other jerseys as well, or at least like around the 130. Which, you know, I really wish that prices of jerseys would go down. I believe that like they should at least be like cut in half, if that. Probably even like a lot more, honestly. Like I think it's interesting to see really, because I don't think those jerseys cost that much. But anyway, you know, like I'm super excited about that because I personally do believe that they're wild. You know what? Like this is something that I think is going to be really, really cool. And I'll show it to you guys here. It's off of YouTube, so hopefully I don't get demonetized for this, but if I do, it's whatever. It's for the good cause. But anyway,
we're going to war.
Let's take a look at this. But basically, this is a ESPN FC video of FC Cincinnati's march into the stadium. We're gonna skip ahead. Like
they actually marched through the streets to get into the stadium. And
that's their like pre-game hangout and everything like that. It seems so crazy. It really does. It seems like absolutely wild, to be honest with you guys.
I am ready. Let's go.
That's awesome. Dude, I feel like hopping in on this. I truly believe if you have a chance to go to one of these, I don't think you'd say no.
So much about what this experience is like, and for anyone that usually watches these Twitter feeds, I work on college football a lot. So I came in with sort of a, let's see what it's like. I mean, if you go to a college football fan base like Tennessee and you say, I want to know what it's like to run the T, like all of these different experiences, I really had that in my mind of saying, okay, that's a high standard to live up to. They hyped this, let's see what it's all about. I think that was the key to today. And man, I'm telling you, I still have goosebumps. Like it is real. I mean, what I just experienced blew my mind. It's hard to give it the credit that it deserves.
Is it crazy to you, because you talk about college football, man, we're talking about not hundreds, but 100 years of history in some cases. This thing's been about 3 years, and yet as you and I were talking about yesterday, there's like a tribal feel to it. It's not all that different from college football.
And in that sense, it's about community. Like one thing I learned is
it's been 3 years. It has been 3 years. Did you hear that? So that is something that's wild, right? Like it's been 4 years now. It's going to be the 4th year, but absolutely wild to just see the expansion and like the speed of the expansion. Anyway, let's finish this video.
We were at the first supporters group today. It's like, it's not just about this team. It's about a brotherhood of the fans. It's about giving back. Like the bar that they were at was giving a portion of the proceeds back every game day to charity. Like they're giving back. They're using their platform to really help like the community, and they're all growing together. And then you get in this line, and I know you've seen it, but you get in this line with around these drums and you just start chanting. And I didn't know any of the chants. And then 10 minutes later, you're still holding the flag and you're still like I'm hoarse from yelling at the top of my lungs. And it's just this vibe and energy, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you get closer to the stadium. And it really it sets it apart. It sets the entire thing apart from anything I've ever experienced, because they built on as it went. And by the end, when we're holding the smoke bombs, I was just trying to control my adrenaline. Like it's a fierce, fiery environment that I just can't give it enough credit.
No, that is just super cool, I think. Wow. That's one of the stadiums I definitely want to visit. I mean, not just for the beautiful stadium that they have, which we're going to see here next, but I mean, like, it is absolutely breathtaking, right? Like, it is just literally just so gorgeous. Yeah, I honestly have no words. I mean, it's a fantastic setup that they've got down there in Cincinnati, and yeah, it's just going to be super cool. I found this video on YouTube from High Side Drone POV, but give it a listen, or give it a watch. We'll give it a watch, actually. It is literally breathtaking. It is such a beautiful stadium. I honestly believe so. So let's just listen to it. Isn't that so cool? I truly see this as like being one of those MLS grounds that every team and every fan is gonna want to go to. Because I can definitely see this whole top row, the whole bottom, the whole stadium as a whole. And let's not, I'm not even going to talk about the beauty of this thing because it's beautiful. Everyone knows that. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm not even going to touch on that because it's shown here. If you don't think it's beautiful, I really don't know at this point. But anyway, I think it's going to be one of those MLS grounds that everyone's going to want to view because it is or be at a game there, drive out for a game. And I think for the whole city of Cincinnati as a whole, I think it is gonna bring in so many fans. It is gonna bring in so many people and make people fall in love with the game. This whole stadium here is genius. Honestly, I applaud them. I really applaud them on the basis of just this. I don't even know how it's looking inside, but let's find out. Let's see it. So I believe that they do like this is just a drone footage, so I don't think there's anything more that really comes into it except like they go back out and back to um, whatever Union Terminal or whatever it's called. But I think this does it a little bit more justice personally. Um, I think let's take a look in on this one here.
League Soccer coming in 2021.
That is so cool. Can you imagine that at night? Wow. Just
We
so cool.
introduce West End Stadium.
So cool. So let's just take a moment and appreciate this because wow, it is gonna be so beautiful. It kind of has like an Allianz Arena kind of feel to it, and I think that's so cool to see. Honestly, I'm just super excited to see what comes of it. Um, and so honestly, big ups to FC Cincinnati for this stadium. Like, I think it's beautiful. Honestly, I really do. I don't think get much better than what they're doing over there. Um, all right. Now, the part that everyone has been waiting for, um, the MLS players for FC Cincinnati. Um, they did a preseason roster. That's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, I don't think it will have uh, any like new players that they've acquired. So it looks like they've taken quite a bit of players. Wow. Does anyone know? I don't know where they went on a preseason tour, but anyway. Okay, so they're doing this in alphabetical order. Is that what? Is that what they're going for? Anyway, so I think, I mean, some players that just stand out here for me, obviously super young players, it seems like, and players who aren't, for the most part, who aren't oh, Luciano Acosta's here. Cocho, okay. Locadia. I really want to see a lot from Locadia. He's been involved in a lot. He really has, and I think he's gonna control a lot of what they do. Um, Luciano Acosta too. I think he's gonna be a massive, massive signing for them. I think they're gonna want someone who's gonna be able um to basically be able to just control the game a lot. He is gonna be really interesting too. He's coming over from Brentford kind of towards the end of his career, to be, if I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. um I think um I think what they're gonna want to is like building up players from like the younger ages. As you can see, like they've kind of got like a mixture of players with a whole lot of experience. um and because of that, I think it's gonna be interesting as well. I think Yuya Kubo is gonna be very, very important to the team as well. I think Mikel van der Werf is going to be very interesting. Harris Mudajinian, I don't know how to pronounce that. I think he's going to be extremely important as well. And Brenner is going to be an interesting acquisition. Um, Obviously, very, very young kid. But you know what? Like the coach has said, um, he's going to be very, very crucial. Calvin Harris too. I think he's going to be very, very important as well. So I think all in all, um, I think these guys are going to do well. I can see Yakubu being very, very, very interesting. Locadia, very, very crucial signing as well. Obviously, they've acquired some players from NY, New York Red Bull, Philly Union. I expect Caleb Stanko to be a good acquisition as well, because playing at SC Freiburg, um, and just I'm expecting a little bit better from these guys this year. I think what you're gonna look for them or from them is just players that are in there, players that are very committed, and players that just wanna make an announcement for themselves. So I think that's gonna be something that's gonna be very, very cool. All in all, my personal thoughts: FC Cincinnati, they're gonna do bits this year. I think personally, I think they're gonna be looking for some blood. Do I think they're quite there yet in terms of qualifying for a playoff spot? Maybe just missing it, especially with it being a lot more normal this season. Uh, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see, personally, in my opinion. We'll be doing watch-alongs as well for FC Cincinnati's game, so be sure to subscribe so that you get the notifications when we do that. As well as yeah, it's gonna be a wild season. I'm very, very, very excited for this season, and just everything that this season's gonna basically just throw at us. I think I think in terms of what I expect from them, I expect them to perform a lot better, a lot more solid. Again, I expect I expect a whole lot more in terms of them being able to just like play better from the back and be more consistent and everything like that. Um, I expect them, especially with fans being allowed back in for FC Cincinnati. I think that's going to be very interesting. But guys, as we're ending the stream, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys tuning in again. I appreciate you guys just spending some time uh, with the squad as well, and just everything that you guys have done. Uh, be sure to keep supporting the page, keep supporting the stream. We love having you guys back with it. We're going to be posting videos of these large streams. We're going to be breaking them down probably in about 5 to 10 minute clips here and there, and just making sure that we're able to all digest a whole lot of what is being said. With that being said, guys, I will be out. So, guys, all about MLS. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, and if you like what you're seeing, be sure to let me know what more you'd like to see. Guys, again, this is your best place for MLS news and MLS resources. Anything MLS, if you want me to talk about, be sure to DM me on Twitter, or be sure to leave a comment. I read all the comments, all of them. So with that being said, guys, peace out and see you guys later.